1, 2, 1, 2. I'm pissed and you should be too. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, FM Bob. How's it going? I'm back again. Blah, 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 blah. Same old, same old. So, as you've heard, as you always know, I'm forever taking unsolicited breaks I don't want, and I've been away for a while. So there's just a bunch of shit going on, so I'm just going to slightly touch on it in the best way I know how. First things first, can people do me a fucking favor and stop being offended or pissed off for me? I don't need you to do that. I got enough pissed off nature in myself. I don't need you to do any of the work for me. I've had enough of these jackasses telling me what I should be offended by. For the 19th, umpteenth fucking time, yes, I am black. Duh. I think it should be just a thing at this point where I don't have to explain myself any fucking more. But apparently I keep having to explain to people that I am black. So yes, I'm going to say some shit that is just a little fucked up. And is fucked up towards, the black culture. Whatever the fuck. Who cares? Either way it goes. I'm not offended by Dr. Seuss. I don't know why anybody's fucking offended by Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss is a kid's book. Leave that shit alone. Just because there's a couple of Asian dudes in there and some Africans, I'm not upset. I don't really care. I really don't give a shit. Dumbo is not offensive. Dumbo is a shitty-ass fucking Disney movie. It's probably one of the worst Disney movies to me. And that Tim Burton remake bullshit is absolutely garbage. But am I offended by it? Absolutely not. Why? Because there's a couple black crows in that bitch? Who gives a shit? Dude, the crows were this exact same in the Oz movie. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but when if you ever seen Oz, the Wizard of Oz black ass remake with Michael Jackson, a bunch of I don't give a fuck who the fuck you are people, they had the crows in that one fucking with the scarecrow, pretty much acting the exact fucking same as the crows in Dumbo, almost splitting images of the same character. Do yourself a favor and look up the scarecrow scene in Oz, the Wizard of Oz black people remake, and they was calling them jive turkeys and all types of goofy shit. That was just the 70s or the 80s. I don't know what the fuck era that was. But that's just how motherfuckers talk, and that's how black people talk. It wasn't racist. I don't think it was racist. I don't think anybody in their right mind thought the fucking crows were racist. That's just how they acted. And mind you, before anybody gets, they panties in a fucking bunch, Oz, the Black Wizard of Oz movie, was starred 100% by black people, written and directed by, if I'm not mistaken, all fucking black people. And it had Michael fucking Jackson in it. As black as that fucking movie could get. I don't know what more the motherfuckers want. And because there was some goofy ass crows in it, everybody got upset for some ass reason. I don't give a fuck. So, if they, mind you, again, if they're gonna get rid of Dumbo, they need to get rid of Oz, because that movie sucks anyway. And because they had the same black ass asshole crows in there. So, get rid of Oz. Wizard of Oz is the only good one with White Dorothy. Fuck you. I don't need people telling me to be offended. What was the other shit that I'm supposed to be offended by? Pepe Le Pew. I don't give a rat's ass about Pepe Le Pew. Fuck Pepe Le Pew any damn way. I don't like French people. That's what I'm more offended by. They was it's rape culture. I don't give a fuck that he was dogging that fucking cat the entire damn time. I was upset that he was fucking French. And I dislike, that's what actually has been more offensive in Pepe Le Pew. It's not that that dude was the skunk was trying to rape a motherfucker is because this French asshole was a French asshole. That was the offensive part about it. Fuck Pepe Le Pew. Fuck the fact that I have to say Pepe Le Pew. The fact that he has 3 ass names. Pepe. Fuck him. And I don't want to say Pepe because I like the Mexican restaurant Pepe's. So I gotta say Pepe Le Pew so you understand that I'm talking about this French jackass skunk. Fuck Pepe Le Pew. How about that? I don't really give a shit, but he doesn't deserve to be canceled. I don't know why the fuck they're canceling Speedy Gonzalez. Speedy Gonzalez 100% is the best thing to Mexicans. Mexicans are normally labeled as, lazy and slow, and Speedy Gonzalez is literally the opposite of him. He's literally the opposite of all stereotypes of fucking Mexicans. You should be embracing Speedy Gonzalez. If I'm not mistaken, Gabriel Iglesias was getting ready to play Speedy Gonzalez in the new Space Jam movie, which fuck the Space Jam movie, by the way. I don't know why anybody gives 2 shits about the Space Jam movie. I was out because nobody wants to be like LeBron. I wanted to be like Mike. My generation wanted to be like Mike. Everybody thought Mike was, literally said by other legends, Mike was God in shorts. I don't know what else there is to be to anything. Jordan is great. LeBron is second, maybe third best. And I'm getting to a whole bunch of Jordan shit in a few minutes. But yeah, I don't know why people are telling me what to be offended and pissed off about. I am not pissed off and or offended by any of these things. I don't think you should be pissed off and or offended by any of these things. It's not that big of a goddamn deal. They're old-ass cartoons and old-ass Dr. Seuss books. Who gives a shit? It's not that big of a damn deal. Let it go. Just enjoy them. Again, pure case in point. That I hate Pepe Le Pew, not because he was fucking with a cat that no means no, it's because he was French. I dislike Pepe Le Pew because he's French. That's the only reason why I dislike Pepe Le Pew. So you're canceling for the wrong ass reasons. Am I supposed to turn? I'm gonna turn. Don't you guys just miss riding along with me in this fucking car? That I have yet to taking care of the brakes. Remember that podcast way back when I told you I was going to take care of my own brakes for the first time, and then I failed miserably? I still haven't changed those brakes since then. My brakes are absolute trash. My tires are now absolute trash, and I don't really give a shit. I'll fix them on my own time. So yeah, no, that's my biggest thing. Is I'm tired of people telling me what to be offended by. I'm also tired of people telling me to defend LeBron. I don't give 2 shits about LeBron. And the reason why people are telling me to defend LeBron is because now there's this whole trend of other athletes telling LeBron to shut the fuck up and just be an athlete. I think it was Imovich, the famous soccer player, pretty much told him that that's the role of being an athlete. Athletes are supposed to unify. Everybody rallies around sports, which is 100% fact. That's why I love sports. I've always loved sports because it was just a rallying thing. Like, nothing else mattered while the game was on. Nothing else was bothering you. You didn't have any effects of the outside world. It was the team you were watching versus a team you probably didn't like. Or 2 teams you like, and you were just rooting for one guy to just outdo the other, or you're just rooting for a good game in general. Normally when I watch sports, nothing else matters. The outside world doesn't matter. And LeBron has been just dragging politics into the sports world. The one thing that I pretty much had left other than video gaming was being dragged through politics, and I really just wanted politics out of my sports. As much as, and a lot of people are always like, well, politics is always a part of sports to a certain degree. And I'm like, yes, but not like the way LeBron's doing. And if you look at all of my past, favorite athletes, the biggest advocate for, politics and sports is Muhammad Ali. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say Muhammad Ali is not great. But he ain't my favorite boxer. My favorite boxer is Mike Tyson. That motherfucker just got in the ring, knocked you the fuck out, walked out of the goddamn ring. And then maybe shit talked to you a little bit before and after. But when he got in the ring, it was all about the business, man. He came in there and was swinging for the fences, knocked you the fuck out, and dipped. He didn't give a shit about being the greatest. He wasn't sitting there screaming. He didn't change his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali. None of that shit. He came in, he boxed, and then he got the fuck out the ring. So I always loved him. Same thing when it came to wrestling. As much as you guys, for all the other great things that I love about wrestling and the whole debate between Stone Cold and The Rock, I dislike The Rock now because he's doing too much extra. I didn't like that motherfucker just when he became a movie star. Now he's just a black advocate for everything. And I'm like, this nigga's fucking from Samoa or some shit. Like, this nigga ain't black. Like, why is everybody acting like everything is black now? Like, yes, I understand, because you had darker skinned people treated you just as shitty as black people. But nigga, you ain't a nigga. Like, calm down. 100% you is not a nigga. You ain't one of me. I don't think they enslaved Samoans. And if they did, you didn't do that great of a job, because they was keeping niggas around. I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. And plus, I'm pretty sure they wasn't fucking with Samoans that bad, because y'all got that haka dance. They be scaring the shit out of motherfuckers. And all of that shit. Like, you scaring the shit out of everybody. Like, I don't think anybody was fucking with Samoans that damn heavily. But again, that's part of the reason why I don't like The Rock over Stone Cold. Stone Cold, same type of motherfucker. Showed up, beat the shit out of you, drank a beer, got the fuck up out of there. Every once in a while, he'll sing some show tunes, but that was about it. That was towards the end of his career when he wasn't stunning everybody left and right. But when Stone Cold was the man, he showed up, the glass broke, he went in, whooped your ass, and left. Man, barely talked shit. All of his shit talking is quick ass catchphrases. What? And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Rock got 5 or 6 catchphrases. He got to cut a promo every 5 fucking minutes. Like, fuck The Rock. Like, Stone Cold just came in, just ran his mouth for a few minutes and dipped. He shit talked you. He was a great shit talker, but he said his handful of catchphrases, beat the shit out of you, drank a beer, and left. Love Stone Cold. My point being, athletes need to go back to being athletes. Imrovich was 100% right. I need my athletes to be athletes. Unify the world, man. Your job is to unify everybody. Sports is our great getaway. Sports is one of our last great getaways. For the love of God, just make fucking sports interesting. That's all I need you to do. I don't need you to protest. If you want to protest, that's fine. But do that and be done with it. Like, protest at the beginning of the game, protest during the anthem, but then I don't need to hear 6, 7 fucking interviews about why you protested during the game. During the game, I want to know why you ain't scoring as much and why you fucking up. That's it. And if you're doing well, I would love to hear why you feel like you're doing well. And then that's the fuck it. If you want to do more protests after the game, if you want to do it on the side, that's cool. But enough is enough with all of this extra shit when it comes to sports, man. I just need scores and stats, and shut the fuck up. Just play the goddamn game. I would love for you to shit talk during the game. This is why I'm still watching hockey, because hockey is the last sport that is devoid of all this extra politic bullshit. So, yes, for the love of God, fuck off with the politics in my sports. They already are slowly fucking up my video games with politics. They tried to come after Ghost of Tsushima because they thought that the music wasn't done by an Asian dude, and that was racist, and I'm like, who gives a shit? Because the dude's a great fucking musician, and that's all that matters. And they fucking added to Spider-Man Miles Morales with all this Black Lives Matter bullshit. He's got his whole ass Black Lives Matter fucking Spidey suit. Like, fuck off, just be a dope ass Spider-Man. That's all the fuck I need you to be. I don't need you to be shit else. I don't need you to be the Spider-Man for Harlem. I need you to be the Spider-Man for the motherfucking world, Craig. Not just your neighborhood, the world. Be Spider-Man for the world. Stop being an asshole. You discount ass Spider-Man bitch. Do that shit for the world. Do your job as a super motherfucking hero. I'm the Spider-Man of Harlem. Get the fuck out of here. And that's why nobody really gives two shits about Miles Morales at the moment. So until he's Spider-Man of the world, shut the fuck up. My Spider-Man was Spider-Man of New York. Anywhere else he could swing to. Space, the future, 2099. He ain't give a fuck. You're Spider-Man of the world. Miles Morales, you kind of lazy right now. So, yeah. It's another thing that's been bothering me. Real quick, I'm going to just jump on the what's-the-name tip. God damn, I'm just scatterbrained today. What the fuck was I going to talk about? Space Jam. Shit. Fuck Space Jam, I really don't give a shit. Like I told you before, I don't really care for Space Jam. I don't care because LeBron's in it. I know good and damn well they're not going to have Michael Jordan in it. Or Bill Murray, because Bill Murray needs to be in Space Jam. Bill Murray saved the entire Space Jam game. I don't know if you guys remember Space Jam, but Jordan was doing his best. He gave the Toon Squad secret stuff. The Monstars came back in the second half, and then Bill Murray came in the fourth quarter, and he saved the whole game. Bill motherfucking Murray saved Jordan in the basketball game. That's how great Bill Murray is. Unless he gets Bill Murray to play on the Toon Squads with LeBron, they finna lose. That's how I see it right now. As great as Jordan was, he needed Bill motherfucking Murray to save the goddamn game. He came in, dished maybe 3 or 4 good assists, talked a little bit of shit, played defense, and he did his thing. That's what I love. That's why I love the old one. Everybody is very upset about Lola Bunny not being sexy. I'm torn between the two because I feel like they're doing it for the wrong reasons. They're trying to desexualize Lola Bunny to make it more empowering towards women, but I feel like you did the exact opposite. Now you're trying to say that sexy women can't play basketball. Is that the thing? Is that what you're doing? You know, little girls who feel like they're very attractive now all of a sudden feel like they can't play basketball? That's kind of fucked up, bro. The WNBA is full of ugly-ass dykes as is. Maybe people would watch it if they were a little more attractive. Ever thought about that? Maybe. And if you think I'm being sexist, ask a few women who watch NBA and ask them who their favorite player is. 9 times out of 10 is going to be Curry because he's the cutest basketball player known to man. So go fuck yourself. If you think I'm being sexist, ask the women the same ass question about the regular NBA. I shouldn't even say regular NBA, the NBA, not the WNBA, because apparently saying regular is offensive. Go fuck yourself. But ask women about the NBA. And watch how quickly they say Curry is their favorite player or somebody who's prototypically an attractive player. They don't give a shit about the stats. I don't give a shit about women's stats. I mean, I give a shit about women's stats because they're fucking garbage, and I really wish they'd play better because it's kind of boring, and it's boring because you won't dunk or shoot threes. You know, the two things that keep people interested. I don't need to see you drive into the hole and chalking up a layup. Unless it's a fancy-ass Iverson-style layup, which I'm guaranteeing it's not. Your sport's kind of boring. I don't want to watch it. I try and watch it every once in a while just to prove a point. Because I don't want to seem like a racist asshole. But every time I watch it, it just gets more and more boring by the second. So, WNBA sucks. Y'all need to learn how to dunk. Maybe drop the rim a couple feet so y'all can reach that motherfucker. Stop blowing open layups. Play some defense. I don't know. WNBA sucks. And my point being is I guarantee there'll probably be a WNBA player in the Space Jam movie where there doesn't need to be. When they need some dope-ass motherfucking regular-ass actors and not this fucking politic bullshit. I need Space Jam to be just a great basketball movie, which I know it's not. So I'm going to stick with the original with Jordan. Jordan came in, he did his thing, Bill Murray saved the day, and that was the end of the goddamn movie. So that's that on that front. And with that, I think it's about time to take a quick commercial break. So I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I will be back to finish off this motherfucking podcast. So I will catch you guys in a few seconds. Enjoy these commercials. Please, and thank you. Welcome back. I'm still here. Did you enjoy those commercials? Those commercials were awesome, weren't they? Either way. So I'm back. So continuing on with my long rants of shit that doesn't matter. LeBron's still pissing me off. And the reason why I wanted to get to LeBron and Jordan shit a little bit later is because it's just the last few weeks of just regular NBA, minus all of his goofy political shit. Just LeBron as a player just slowly started to piss me off. The NBA in general has just gotten on my goddamn nerves. But, for one, I'm done with the LeBron-Jordan arguments. I need these to die now. LeBron will never be better than Jordan. It's just not going to happen. There's too much against LeBron versus Jordan that makes just Jordan look so much better. And the last argument that I've continuously heard that apparently puts Jordan or LeBron above Jordan is because all the Jordan hypes will say he was 6-0 in the finals, which he is. He is 6-0 in the finals. He gets to the finals and he has not lost in the finals. But everybody's like, well, he played 15 seasons. What about the rest of the seasons? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and school you motherfuckers on the rest of the shit. Before he made it to the finals, Jordan ran against almost every set of great fucking players possible. People discount the bad boy Pistons like they weren't literally the bad boy Pistons. They had a nickname for a reason because they were the bad boy fucking Pistons. They were no goddamn joke. They literally, and I mean literally, watch any highlighted game of a Piston game versus the Bulls and watch how they damn near just assaulted Jordan the entire damn game. That was not a couple hack-a-shacks. That wasn't what they do to LeBron. They damn near were dropping Jordan. I swear to God, I've seen closed fist attacks to Jordan multiple times during the Piston game. They were physically beating the shit out of Jordan as much as they could get away with without having all their players in foul trouble. They were just beating the living hell. If they beat the shit out of LeBron like they beat the shit out of Jordan, I don't think LeBron would ever have a fucking ring. The Pistons were no fucking joke. Now, I understand. He never overcame the Pistons because the Pistons got old. Also, the Pistons were already up in age when Jordan ran into him in his first few seasons. So it doesn't take long for the Pistons to grow old while Jordan gets into his prime. So let's get into that. It's not that he waited till they got old. It was only, 3 seasons before he finally took out the Pistons? I don't know the exact year. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it wasn't that damn long. And then they were like, well, he never overcame the Celtics. Let me be quite frank for a second. Again, that was a legendary fucking team with Larry Legend, literally in the nickname. Larry Legend. The motherfucker who could shoot. He was literally that era's Curry. But the difference is Jordan was younger and unseasoned, and Larry was in his fucking prime. So no shit. He had a fucking problem beating him alongside Kevin McHale and other great fucking players. It wasn't just him by himself. It was a fistful of great players. And you got to remember, that was in his same division. He had to go through these players to even get to the finals. And everybody's like, well, LeBron beat the super team of the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, but let's picture him having to go up against the Golden State Warriors before he even went to the finals. That's the difference. He wouldn't have made it all those years that Golden State beat him. Imagine if he did that in the semifinals before he got to the finals. That means LeBron wouldn't have made it to the finals all those fucking years. Like Jordan didn't get to make it to the finals every year. He had to run into the Pistons and then the bad boy Pistons and then the legendary Celtics. And then even imagine this. After getting through those two teams, at some point, if he made it to the finals, let's just say he beat those two teams when he was extremely young. Now let's imagine him beating those two teams and then having to go against Magic and the fucking Lakers. It's not that easy of a run. Those are 3 great teams that he would have had to run through to win a championship with abysmal help. Absolute abysmal help. Everybody wants to say that LeBron dragged every team to the fucking playoffs. He dragged all shitty teams through the playoffs and to the finals. Do you remember LeBron's first few teams? Because I do very clearly. His first few teams weren't that fucking bad. They weren't great players, but they weren't as trash as the early... Name one early Bull. I dare you. Nobody remembers any of the early Bulls. Everybody starts remembering players when Scottie shows up. Scottie's the first memorable player that Jordan ever got to play with. The rest of these motherfuckers were absolute hot garbage. The rest of the Bulls team sucked. Then it was just Jordan and Scottie and trash. Then they got a handful of good players after the fact. Not until 96, 97 did Jordan have a full flushed fucking team. That's when he became unstoppable. Was his 3rd and 4th season. Then Jordan was unstoppable because he had a full fucking team. And then he acquired Dennis Rodman. That's when they became a super team. Those first few seasons, I don't even think Jordan had a super team. He just had a solid fucking team finally. And then still bum rush through all of these great teams still. So I don't want to hear this shit that LeBron had overcome adversity. He played in the weak-ass East. He played absolutely nobody. And every time he lost to garbage. He had to struggle against the Bulls with Derrick Rose, Luol Deng, and Joakim Noah. Where are any of those players right now? Nowhere. I don't even think Luol Deng and Joakim Noah are playing anymore. And Derrick Rose is only popular because he's Derrick Rose. And we remember him fondly. We don't give two shits about those fucking Bulls teams that he struggled with. You know who LeBron had the most trouble with on those Bulls teams? It was Kurt Heinrich. I remember that. Kurt Heinrich was beating the shit out of LeBron half of those games. That was your adversary, was Kurt Heinrich. Where the fuck is Kurt Heinrich right now? Anybody? Somebody can tell me? I don't know what the fuck he's doing now. Those are the teams he had to go up against and struggle. He lost to the Celtics with old-ass KG, old-ass Ray Allen, and bum-ass Paul Pierce. And then a bunch of role players. And again, my favorite role players, I like the Celtics of that era, but let's not sit here and act like that was a super team. That was three old-ass acquiesce players who just happened to play very well together. They were just three dogs, the last three dogs of a dying era. And they just showed you that three dogs, three gut players can outplay athleticism. That's all it was. So after losing to that team, then when he finally starts getting into the finals, when he was with the Heat, mind you, drugged along with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, a former champion, mind you. He already had won a ring and then acquiesced LeBron and Chris Bosh. Then he loses to Dirk Nowitzki. And again, not knocking Dirk Nowitzki, but Dirk Nowitzki is not the most memorable player of all time. Dirk Nowitzki was probably in his 40s at that point. Dirk Nowitzki was old, had a lazy-ass jumper, and just did what needed to be done to win a game. That should not have stopped over-athletic LeBron and pretty much still in his prime Dwayne Wade and a tall, lanky shooter that was Chris Bosh, who should have went to the hole instead of shooting long-ass threes. But that was just their problem. So again, I want this LeBron-Jordan argument squashed. Those are all my reasons of why Jordan is much better and LeBron is not. And it's just, we've already whittled down that Jordan wins. Jordan is a better competitor. Jordan cared more and all of this shit. Jordan never took a game off, mind you. LeBron just, a couple weeks ago, who couldn't win a game during 4 quarters, could not win a game in the first overtime, couldn't win a game in double overtime, had to go to triple overtime and said, fuck it, I ain't playing. Let that have been Jordan. Let Jordan had to sit there and say, yeah, I don't feel like playing 3 overtimes. Because you know why? It wouldn't have happened. First of all, because it wouldn't have went to 3 overtimes. He would have either beat the living shit out of all of his own players and then outdid the other team, or he would have beat the shit out of his team and then shot himself into a hole trying to win a game. But he was going to try his damnedest to win a game and not just give up and say, I ain't playing 3 overtimes. Fuck off, LeBron. You are not my hero. That is a shit-ass hero to have. Jordan would have more than likely played all 3 of those overtimes and been happy to do it. Uh-oh. Break time, hold on. Okay, break time over. I got it. Sorry for the quick break. Had to pick up Kelly. Kelly's here.
Hello.
Continue where I was running my mouth before. Fuck LeBron. I don't have any respect for LeBron. LeBum James will never be my hero. And LeBum James should never be anyone's hero. Because Jordan's is just better at the end of the damn day. I think that's everything sports related. I'm not running out of topics. I'm just kind of bumming through my topics, and taking commercial breaks doesn't help.
You talk about Biden's dog?
Oh, I wouldn't mind talking about Biden's dog since you're here now. And so in recent news, if you're not keeping up with recent news, or who gives a shit about the Biden administration, because he's not, bad orange man. So the news doesn't exist anymore. But at the moment, Biden, I'm pretty sure you remember before we mentioned Biden's dogs. Biden's great fucking dogs. His great 2 rescues that everybody should love and adore because they're just 2 great dogs. Well, they bit somebody. They just got a little upset apparently, and they just bit the hand of some unsuspecting security guard, if I'm not mistaken. And Biden just said, fuck it, send them back to Delaware. I'm not dealing with that shit. I got COVIDs. I got COVIDs to deal with. I got to get these people their stimmy checks. I ain't got time to deal with No rescue motherfucking dogs. So with our residential dog trainer, what do you think about it?
I don't know the whole story, so I can't comment too much on it. But, you know, dogs do what they do. And that's just how they are. So, if it all depends on, like, the situation. Did the security guard just randomly come in the room? That's highly probable.
Right.
It may have, you know, the dude might have come in and was really fast about it. And the dog wasn't expecting it. So, yeah, they're going to do what they need to protect. That's, you know, they got German Shepherds. That's what they do.
Sure enough.
So, I don't know. That all depends on the situation. And we don't know the situation. They're never going to tell us the whole story, I'm sure.
Of course not, because either way it goes, they don't want to make the rescue dogs look bad. They don't want to make Biden look like he has no business with two big-ass German Shepherds. And, I mean, he's not orange, so we don't need to talk about these things. He's not orange. So none of this matters. Even though that dog bit somebody, none of this matters. Why are you talking about it?
Yeah.
Too busy canceling Dr. Seuss books.
Right.
Stop looking at this hand. Why don't you focus on this other hand where we're just going poof vamoose, Dr. Seuss. That was a good rhyme. That was a complete accident.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it's ridiculous.
It is.
And again, I don't think the dogs were bad dogs. I think as you've taught me over the years, and I'm starting to learn with dog training in general, there's no such thing as a bad dog. There's just bad dog owners. And let's just be frank, he's too damn old for two big ass rescue, mind you, German Shepherds, who are probably given no true exercise, no true task, no true will to live at the moment. They're just like, sit here in the Oval Office and shut the fuck up. It's not how you treat German Shepherds.
German Shepherds are a working, intelligent breed. So they need a job, and they need to have a job where they can use their mind.
Right.
And a lot of people get German Shepherds and Huskies and all these working class dogs, and they don't realize what they actually got. And so they don't give them anything to have that outlet. So when you have a very smart, very intelligent dog that's just sitting in a very boring space, it's gonna bark. And they've already mentioned that it barks too much for that area.
It definitely barked like through a handful of press conferences, which was kind of hilarious to me.
They're gonna bark. They're gonna show signs of being uncomfortable, and biting is definitely one of those things. So having an outlet to do all that things is very important. And these being rescue dogs, they definitely need it, because you don't know what they've been through and what they were doing beforehand.
I would actually like somebody to do that bit of research, because I'm not. But I would love for somebody who has a bit of sense, find out where those rescue dogs came from. Just like, I'm pretty sure there's information on those rescue dogs. I would love to know what kind of situation they came from, where they ended up in the hands of old slow Joe. Because either way it goes, I don't think that was the best situation for them, was to end up with Joe Biden. To my knowledge, they had no prior, like, adaptive training for those dogs. They kind of just picked up 2 free dogs. And it was just like, yeah, we taking these. Mind you, again, I want to reiterate this 1,000 times over. I don't give a fuck what you're saying. You didn't rescue your dog. You picked up a free dog. That's what you did. Unless you go into a facility and rescue them from danger. Drop my mic. Or pick them motherfucking dogs up off the streets. You didn't rescue them. You went and got a free one. Stop saying you rescued the dog. You didn't. You had no helping hand in rescuing your dog. You got a free one.
Well, you can say that you have a rescue dog, you know?
Yeah. No, you have you picked up a free rescued dog. You did nothing to help that dog. That dog was going to get adopted out one way or another. And especially at German Shepherds, I'm goddamn guaranteeing they were going to find someplace for those German Shepherds.
Especially how pretty they are.
Yeah.
Like, these are not your typical colored ones either. Because they're mixed.
Right.
So they have a little bit of something else in there, and they're really pretty dogs. They just need, they need training, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you are a first time owner, or things are not exactly how you want them, or if you just want to learn some new things, a dog trainer is a really important aspect of your dog's life, because there's a lot of different things that regular owners don't realize that they could be doing with their dogs that could make their lives way better.
Sounds like you're plugging your business.
Maybe.
But even so, again, working with you and working with some of your training situations, I have clearly learned, even as a non-dog owner, that motherfuckers are treating their dogs horribly because they have no idea what they're doing. They're getting animals, and they're just like, I'm gonna love him and feed him, and that's all I need to do. And it's like, nah, bro, you gotta actually work. I definitely seen that. Now I see why people are like, owning a dog is like owning a child. It is. It's actually harder, because at least with a child, you only got to deal with that motherfucker for like the first 3 years, and then you start pawning them off to everybody who's willing to take care of them. You give them to grandma, give them to aunts and uncles. You're like, here, take care of this motherfucker while I go on vacation. So you can pawn off a baby. It's not as easy to pawn off a dog on everybody. And then when they get to 5, 6, then you just send their ass to school every day, and then let the education system raise your dumbass child. Can't do that with a dog either. You don't just get to send them away for 8 to 9 hours a day and like, here, you deal with them, and do it for free on the taxpayers' dollars. Public school, I'm talking about you. I think I'm 100% on the side of owning a dog is much harder than owning a child. The only difference is people come after you a lot quicker when you get your kid killed. If you fuck up and you get your dog killed, people don't hunt you down as much. They should,
yeah,
but they don't hunt you down as hard.
It depends on the situation.
True enough.
If they are neglected, and it's obvious that they're neglected, like there's charges, not as harshly as child abuse, but there is animal abuse that you can deal with.
True.
It's not as harsh. Should be, but it's not.
Yeah. I'll put it this way, and this is how this is all you need to say. That's saying that owning a dog is harder than owning a child. Check this out. If your kid, one of your stupid ass kids, one of your many dumb ass kids that you probably shouldn't have had, if your child, let's just say, goes to school and bites another child, punches or slaps them or something like that, that kid's getting a timeout. You're probably going to get a phone call, and then it's going to be a whole lot of, you better not do that again. If your dog bites anything that ain't you, that dog's most likely dead.
You got 3 chances.
You're on a 3 strikes and that dog's dead rule. If your kid slaps another kid 3 times, your kid's officially an asshole. And that's about as far as it goes. So yeah, let's just go on that lines of saying that dog owning is much more difficult. So yeah. There was something else I wanted to discuss. Oh, by the way, I watched Coming to America 2. Kelly, I know you've not watched Coming to America, the original, or Coming to America 2. Yes, I watched the movie without you because I know you weren't going to give a shit. For my listeners, Coming to America 2, not recommended. Worst movie I've watched in a while. The first movie was great. Probably, maybe in the top 5 or 10 movies of all time to me. So it's a great movie. Coming to America 2 is like some shitty ass Wakanda Forever bullshit. I don't really give a fuck. To me, what it does is shows, first of all, it was a member berry movie for the 80s. It was like, remember the 80s? Remember Salt and Pepper? Remember when Salt and Pepper was cool? Remember when you used to walk around the street with boom boxes? Like, no one gives a shit, dude. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, the 80s were great. I'm not saying the 80s were shit, but it's just like, I don't need a whole movie on, like, remember how great the 80s were? Fuck out of here. That movie was for 80s heads who just want something to remember, because I understand the 80s kids had to lose their 80s, had to deal with us 90s, had to deal with the resurgence of the new millennium, and the 2000s and the 2010s, and all of this shit up to now. I get it. Your time has long gone, and the 80s aren't cool anymore, and they're not even remembered fondly as they used to be. It's my turn now. We're in the mix of remembering the 90s as being one of the greatest eras ever. And I can prove that as a fucking fact all across the board. But yeah, that's all Coming to America 2 was like, remember the 80s. And then to me it was like, just like showing how shitty American black people are to a certain degree. Because it was like, look, this kid's, this I'm just going to explain it to you too, Kelly, so you understand. The original movie was about a prince coming to America to find a queen, and then he went back, married her, and became the king of Zamunda. Now he has no son. He had 3 daughters, and he needs somebody to take the throne. It's always your firstborn son that's going to become the prince and take the throne. And he had no son. And then he found out he had a bastard son in America. So he comes to America to retrieve his son, teach him how to be a prince, and then he's going to someday rule over. And I'm like, all right, easy story to tell. Not that big of a deal. Why is this kid such an asshole? And I get it. It's like, oh, I never knew my father. Like, that's an okay bit to go for like a good chunk of the movie. But once you're like, okay, I accept that you're my father, now I'm going to learn how to be prince. He was just a dickhead about it the whole goddamn way through. And it's just like, dude, go fuck yourself. Like, just be the prince. Like, be happy that you're a fucking prince. Your life's going to become great now. You're a fucking prince. And he was just a douchebag about it. And then he brought his ghetto-ass mom over there to start being ghetto all in the fucking throne, in the palace room and shit. It's like, stop being ghetto for 5 fucking minutes. And act like you got some fucking sense in your life. But nah, I can't do that, man. You gotta be real. You gotta be true to yourself. And all this other bullshit. And
what does the true to yourself have to be trash?
Wait, why does the true to yourself have to be an asshole? Like, you're just being an asshole, and your mama's ghetto, and kind of an asshole. And you're being an asshole, and then they're like, but why is the sister being so mean? It's because she was supposed to rule fucking Zamunda, and then your trash ass came from Queens, acting like an asshole. Nobody wants you around. So I kind of get why she was kind of mad. I don't know why she ended up helping them in the end. Maybe to show black unity or some bullshit. Like, get the fuck out of here. It was just a whole bunch of ignorant bullshit. I really didn't give a fuck. All the references were trash to me. Maybe it's just because I'm not 80s enough to enjoy Coming to America. I highly recommend everybody watch the first Coming to America. The second one, it might have been a great Hulu TV show series. Spread that shit out, 2 seasons, 6 episodes each. Might have been a decent show. That's my take on Coming to America. Wasn't that great. It was just remembering the 80s. Alright, I'm running out of CD space again, so I gotta end this podcast. So, thank you for listening. Make sure you follow me on Facebook. What else I got? Facebook, YouTube, Facebook at F and Bob, YouTube at F and Bob Show. It's fine, subscribe. Podcasts go up there too. And videos will be going up there eventually. Don't forget the streams, FNF streams, 1st and 15th, every month. The 15th is coming up soon, so don't miss out on that one. I told you, I'm going to be playing arcade games and shit. It's going to be fun time. So look for me on Twitch, at F and Bob Show on Twitch. All the links will be in the description, and all the links are always on the Facebook. Facebook's the easiest way to keep up with everything. If you have show ideas, topics, or you just want to say great job on the show, make sure you email me at fmbobshow@gmail.com. Don't forget, all the links are going to be in the description. And I'll catch you motherfuckers later. Get the fuck out of my car, and I'll see you later.